Welcome, Namaskar, with a very special aura of the time of the Guru Purnima. And it is the Guru's blessings, starting from Rishi Vyasa and subsequently, there are so many Gurus. And we are truly blessed, you and I, that we have beloved Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar Giri, Lahiri Mahasaya. We have Swami Sri Vivekananda, Karma Yogi. We have the blessings and the protections of the Holy Mother, Sharada, and Paramahansa Ramakrishna. They're simplest of the simplest, absolutely childlike. We have, most importantly, the protection of Mahavatar Kalpa Yogi Babaji, deathless master, protecting and guiding us, taking us to Sri Shri Krishna, Yogakshema. Krishna is saying, Yogakshema. Whatever you have in your mind, I shall grant it to you. Krishna's promise. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and we have ultimately the mother of the universe, the divine mother, and this entirety of all. You and I are blessed to be amidst that we could take on this essence of Kriya Yoga and spirituality. What is happening in this world? Before we start off with that, let us start with our salutation, our prayers to the Divine Mother, the gods of all religion and the gurus of the universe who are there with the Adi Guru and our Param Gurus. Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyotir gamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Our prayers to Mahavatar Babaji, Kalpa Yogi, deathless master, with the Gurus, with Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and the Divine Mother of the universe, to send special energy of protection to each one of us and everybody who is dependent on to you. Protect you from all calamities, all sicknesses and disease. Protect you with a bubble. And whatever I earn through my spirituality, I give it unto you, spread it to you, to protect you and to take you across to that ultimate goal in this life alone, oneness with Brahman. We are continuing with a little bit more onto the Bhakti Yoga, because there is always, why is Bhakti Yoga so powerful? And everybody takes it, would love to. Everybody's got a tremendous, intense love. It's like one of our devotees just now has got a grandson. How much of love was oozing out, Sir Vijay. It was so nice. So notice here, Vijay doesn't have to practice compassion. It just comes automatically. It's the same way with our love for gods and goddesses, the Divine Mother. Once we connect and just do whatever, just put G-O-D with that. That's Bhakti Yoga. Whatever we do, we put G-O-D in it. You know, like you put almost in everything as something to taste it good. If it is sweet, you make sure it is fragrance and sweet that you're cooking, or salty or spicy. You put something to make it tasty. And this is what the Bhakti Yoga does. Let us take you across to through sharing of the slides. So you have gone over this. Terms and conditions apply. These terms and conditions are very important, and they're very fine print written for everyone. And whenever I see our dearest devotee cinemas, Thapli Sahib, I can see. It's so nice. That's epitome of bhakti. Come whatever may. Why is it the most popular? It is, see, if you look at in the Jnana Yoga, the way of the knowledge, we are, that absolute reality is what we have to understand. We do not know ourselves. And all we need to know that we are Brahman. But it's so difficult, though. How can I be Brahman? And we're all the time talking about the Jnana Yogas. The ultimate end to all suffering is oneness. Is oneness. That we all are one. How can we be one? Everybody's got different names and forms and function and male and female and age, young and very young and middle-aged and old. And then to top it all comes the countries and the language and nationality. And then there are human beings and animals and plants and inanimate objects like mountains and oceans. How can we all be one? And that is where in the Jnana Yoga comes awareness. We all have, without that awareness of the spirituality, it is not the awareness of the consciousness. Awareness of the consciousness is the awareness, but the awareness focused towards spirituality. Because of which, you and I sitting here, we are not spending our time in watching a movie or preparing and practicing every day sincerely, morning and evenings. Some of us I can see doing morning very well and evening little less. Try and pick it up. There's one of the yogi was talking to me the other day. You all know him. He's the General Secretary of YSS, Smarananandaji. And he was telling, somebody was talking to him. See, I got a choice of doing little more Kriya Yoga or little more meditation. He gave two advices. One, he said, of course, meditation. That means you have finished your number of the Kriya Yoga practice. Don't have to carry on. You go on to meditation more. And the second part of his advice was, in the meditation, whatever you do, tell yourself, in Hindi, the drill masters used to tell us, hilo mat. So in this is, move not, do not move, be still, be silent. And the moment we do this, what happens is that oneness, we have to understand, we have to aware of what? Something like the water quality in the ocean. In the ocean, we know by now, being Vedantist, aspiring yogis, that whether it's the wave, the bubble, or the froth, or the oceans, everything has got one thing, and that is water. And I cannot say, I repeat, I cannot say that the waves have water in it. We cannot say that. For those of you been for a while, you will straight away click onto it. For those who are new, this glass has water in it. So how come I cannot say the waves have water in it? Because in this, I can separate the water, glass will remain, the water will remain. Two objects will come in, but not for a wave. If I remove the water from the wave, the existence of the wave terminates, vanishes. It doesn't exist anymore. So the water is itself has become chosen to be the wave. The water itself has chosen to be the ocean, the river, even the small puddle of water on the roadside, or the beautiful towering waterfalls, or the mountainous Alakananda, Bhagirathi becoming at Rudraprayag, Devaprayag, and becoming Ganga. Water has chosen. In this choosing of the water, you notice the water flow in the Himalayas is compared during this rainy season when the water is coming down Gangotri Gomukhi. It's now muddy and carrying plants and trees, and I was looking at yesterday while traveling at the Mulla Mutta River. They have let go from NDA National the tank water, and it's really muddy, just like that. So this monk is saying, Vishay ka man aisa hi hota hai. Vishay, like people who are just doing bhoga, sensual pleasures. And more and more and more is going into it. But the moment you get into the Bhakti Yoga, something happens, just like the father's love for the child, grandfather's love for the grandchild, something happens. You don't develop compassion, it just happens. So the moment you get clicked, and the divine grace of the mother, Krishna, Babaji, our Guru Devas, it happens on its own. Then comes the Bhakti Yoga, Tripto Bhavati. It just happens. So how are we going to make it happen? In the Jnana Yoga, you have to become aware. In the Bhakti Yoga, divine blessing, all we have to do is to be. I've been talking all the time of Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. How come I'm now highlighting Bhakti Yoga? Because the essence is somehow we tend to become, and I shall cover those parts, we tend to become very technical, bookish, and we think, I know everything now. That's the downfall. So what is it? Understanding the meanings of Jnana Yoga, many can do. But manifesting that into reality is where the problem. And this is what Vivekananda is saying. There are many who understands Vedanta and Brahman, but there are very few who realizes it. Towards that realization, we shall give you a little practice as we continue. But before that, what's happening in this world, this universe, this Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga, combining all of them, we need to practice. Karma Yoga, beautiful, your selfless work, but tends to make you egotistic. I am the one, got this NGO now and doing this work for the poor. And when everybody says, I do namaste to them politely, but inside of me, I'm saying, I am doing it. No, put God's name in it. I'm not the doer. Whether you're the grandfather or the father or the mother or the grandmother, you are not the doer. If the God, the Divine Mother, Guru is the doer. I am just an Amazon.com delivery guy. Often when somebody says, Guru, I say, there is only one Guru, and that's Adi Guru. And we are divinely blessed that the Adi Guru has come in to us as Paramahansa Yogananda Yukteswar Girilahari Mahasaya, as Swami Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, as Mahavatar Babaji, as Shiva, Krishna, Brahma, as the Divine Mother, the Mother of the universe, and this Adi Guru. Notice the Adi Guru is considered as the Shiva. But look at Mother Kali, great saints. These, by the way, the statues are not just like that. You see some imagination, and some Pandits have done it now, thousands of years onwards. And this is why Shankaracharya, 1400 years ago, just imagine, 16-year-old teaching 65 years old. And what? The stotra goes on to say, the master, the guru is young. The disciples are old. Master is not speaking. Shankaracharya is to teach without speaking a word, just through meditation. He is to propagate the knowledge, and all doubts are dispelled. Can you imagine? Just think of it. Shankaracharya left his body at the age of 32. And look at it. The Karika, the Bhashya, the Brahma Sutras, and his specially chosen 11. 10 very certain. Shweta Upanishad is 1. 11 is kind of being debated upon whether it was done by him. Can you imagine? Such a young, giant mind, and is left for you and me. But in this Jnana Yoga, understanding that this universe is Brahman. I'm talking about a little bit of Jnana. We have to mix up the whole thing. This is the message of our great masters. Balance it, bring everything together. That's what you and I are doing. Notice Paramahansa Ramakrishna, he followed Islam for 3 years, Christianity for 2 years. He followed Tantra for 3 years. And eventually he came down and said, look, this is what it is. Very simple for everyone, even the smallest of the person. So in which I'm talking about a little bit, this universe, what is this world around? What's the reality? Reality is the Brahman, is the consciousness. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahman. Taittiriya Upanishad. Recollect, you've gone through all of them. Barring those who feel a little new, we shall go over them again and again. Is consciousness, is the existence, is the truth, the reality is Ishvara. Now, this Brahman, Ishvara, has created, those of you been through, are the 5 elements through Maya. The entirety of the Maya, the entirety of the Brahman put together is Ishvara, is God. And when you have entirety of Brahman, the consciousness, with tiny bit of Maya, we have Jiva, you and me, in which Purusha and Prakriti, Sankhya, and combining and seeking the blessings of the Divine Mother and our gurus to speak through me. You're looking at yourself. What is Purusha? I'm looking into the mirror. I see my image. I do not say that is me. I know it is my image. Now, if you look at that image only, that is because of the Maya getting represented to being with the Nama, Rupa, Bhavahara, name, form, and action. And this is the Purusha. So, This reality of the Brahman with Maya is Ishvara, perfect, complete entirety. Brahman with little bit of Maya is Jiva. So recollect, Hanumanji was asked by Ramachandra, Hanuman, what do you think of me? What's your relationship with me? What did Hanumanji say? Deha buddhya, I'm your servant. When I think of myself with my body, daso, deha buddhya dasaham. Jiva buddhya, that jiva, tiny bit of Maya and the consciousness. Tadam sakha, I am part of you. I'm your friend. Atma buddhya, when I look at myself as the consciousness, as the spirit, there is no separation between you and I. Iti me nischaya buddhi. Atma buddhya tvameva aham. You and I are one. So this is that. What is happening in this world now? The Maya has created the 5 elements. So the other day there was a gentleman who was, and it just so happened, we are always getting into talking about who am I. And we were talking and he said, he is very interested in spirituality, but he's he's read about 100 pages of some books on Vedanta, which is very nice, interested, coming into the life. And he said, when you say, who am I? Who am I? I am this 5 element and the combination of all of them. And soon enough, when the time will finish, body will die. And that's the end of me. And we got into that conversation. So you and I know, as a Vedantist, and in any one of the form, that body is born, body dies, womb to tomb. But the consciousness is infinite, immortal. Sukshma Sharira, that is Manas, Chitta, Buddhi, they continue as us. Sthula Sharir is the body, Sukshma Sharir continues with us. And that is the mind which takes on the karma. So this world, now, if this be so, the question is that why are we suffering? In very short, we will take on in a large topic, why, if God exists, why are we suffering? We talked about it often, and these things keep on coming on. Why are we suffering? In the God's world, words from Himachal Pradesh, Himalaya, Astapli also, they say, ईश्वर का पृथ्वी में किसी का हानि नहीं होता है भला. Nobody has any suffering. Then what is it? God has created this universe. Yes. But along with that, the God's world and is our world. We also participate into our world. And what do? What do we create? MESS. And you know, this mess, MESS, is what you and I create. And in the IB, we talk about MESS is our ancient studies pattern called Maths, English, Science, and Social Studies. This is what we used to do. Today, of course, it's a different process. So we create the mess. What is the mess? I'm the grandfather, I'm the father, I am the young guy going to get married, I am owning so much of money, my name, my desire, my form, I like that, I don't like it. I am this, I get a backache, I don't get a backache, I'm in very good health, and I go to gym every day, I, and this is the mess. And because of this mess, that tiny bit of the Maya and consciousness, infinite possibility. Notice the water in the wave and the water in the bubble, water in the moisture, water in the froth, water in the ocean are all one. Whether the gold jewelry from Tiffany or you go to P. N. Gadgil, anywhere. It is the same gold, 24 karat. So once we understand this, then our journey is different. And taking on from there, in this direct, effortless method is come to the bhakta, because God now puts you into the boat on his lap and rows you across the Bhavatarini river, which we are supposed to mythologically cross, go to the other side. In the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, we are supposed to be swimming across. And in Bhakti Yoga, God takes you on his lap. So when the beautiful thing is, when we put all together, then we are fully aware, always blissful and cheerful. So two things in the Vedanta. Number one, oneness. That oneness is that everything has got the same. All the waves, all the bubbles, all the froth, irrespective of the size, color, creed, whether muddy or what, has water in it. Notice that Himalaya, that water from coming during this season, we are saying what the Himalayan yogis say, the Vedantis say, Vishayika, that is the family persons. Man aisa hi hota hai. The mind, not the consciousness, not the awareness. It is the mind is like that. And then during that beautiful October, November, December, January, that same water is crystal clear. You put a coin, you can see the coin 4 feet, 6 feet below, sparkling there. And that is a Vedantist, a yogi, a bhakta, a karma yogi, jnana yogi, raja yogi, bhakti yogi. Their mind is like that. Our intention is to purify. Towards the purification, as we go along, we'll give you a small method. So the fine print, if this is so, Bhakti Yoga is so good and so famous, and the God himself is doing, why aren't we all getting liberated? And this is where terms and conditions apply. Are those sadhana chatushti, the fourfold. There's a little cheating in that in the ancient time. The first is Viveka. Viveka, because of which Vivekananda's name. Understanding what is real and what is not real. And the moment I understand, I attain Vairag. There are many devotees, they are right now attending. If I take the name, some of you will get jealous. They have attended. It's so beautiful to see. Attains Vairag. They are like the lotus flower today, right now, in the water, but the water can't touch them. They are like the same milk. You make the curd out of it, churn it, make butter out of it, same milk, or the curd can be mixed into a lassi and you have a nice cool drink. But when you make it butter, you can't mix it with water. In the samsara, we must stay. We don't have to run off to ashramas or the mountain caves. Be in the samsara where you are and play that role 100 out of 100. Going into, you have to have Viveka Vairaga. And then the third one, Shama, calmness of mind. Dhamma, sensual control. Uparati, Uparati is the extreme Uparati, is becoming a monk. In other words, a detachment from going outwards. I'm not going for party and drinking and have fun and drink and party and go to that place and go to that place and go to that shopping mall. You know, the world is doing it so much. I'm not saying when your wife or husband or son or the daughter say, or the father says, let's go. And you said, no, I am Jnana Yoga. I'm not coming with you to Phoenix Mall. You be a part of it. Be there. But calmly participate without standing out like a sore thumb. Then samadhana, utilizing that focused concentration, settling down on Vedanta. Read But read the scripture not because I am a great Jnani. Read the scripture, read that Bhagavad Gita. Vedanta is Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramana. And Upanishad and Brahma Sutra and Bhagavad Gita. All three put together. But when you read it as the message of Krishna. My God is talking to me when I read Bhagavad Gita. And then going on to Titiksha, let the world throw at me anything. I am not going to diverge from my time. Desha Kala Vastu Paricheda. Remember, we have gone over this in Apuraksharabhati. Desha, at the place, my place for the meditation. Kala, at the specific time. I will not divulge, come whatever may, and take on my content of the meditation, of the kriya, of the practices, and my services, the karma yoga, to my family member. To start with, charity begins at home, and then taking it across. And then Shraddha. Understand this. In the IB parlance, to close the window and switch on the AC, switch on. In Shraddha is the respect. In the IB International Baccalaureate, they say, you can read a book and you can learn. You will learn also for a while. Retain it for a while. But when you have respect towards your teacher, Acharya Devu Bhavu. Guru is the Acharya. When you have respect, you cannot forget it. Because the Adi Guru's blessing through the Guru's Guru comes to you. You will never forget it. It's like you forget Charles Law, Boyd's Law, and Faraday's Law. No? You forget what is written in Ashok Stamba, though we marked it up. But you never forget the taste of a vanilla ice cream, or a pav bhaji, or a Alfonso mango, because you taste it, you relish it. So relish it like God's word. And then mumukshattam, 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 the fourth one. So Shata Sampatti is in the third one. 6 treasures. Remember, Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhana, Shraddha. 6. And then mumukshattam, mumukshattam, intense desire. First and second, keeping God everywhere. Have all these, you have maybe to certain percentage. That's why we are sitting and listening and talking. But all we need to have is increase to qualify better for Vedanta. So what do we mean by qualified? See, as I just now said, we can buy a book and read, attend a talk, listen to it. But if we don't practice, the benefits of those which are promised would not come. So don't be disheartened if it is less. Intensify your practice. I need to practice more. So, some extent, working, whether Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Raja Yoga, is adequate to start with, but it's not enough. You need to start it. Wherever you're doing, whatever you do, supposing you are worried about a friend of yours who's got a COVID-19. So there is a brahmachari who's a very intense meditator. Right now, he's going to become a monk. He, his partner, another brahmachari, and became feverish, cough, cold. This first brahmachari, who's an ardent meditator, very serious meditator, he gave up his meditation and he kept doing service to his colleague. And he said, God, as I am serving him, I'm meditating on you. I'm serving you, God. So think about you're serving God. And as you do all these, then you would find a beautiful result is coming up. You know, the basic terms and conditions have to be fulfilled, meaning I'm reading a book. As students, you remember we used to study for exams and studies, and quite often we used to get bored. Our attention is that side or that side, and who's doing what, or TV watching. And today you got the famous, now the Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram. So these are all distractions. These distractions in the ancient time, like in my school days, there were no TV, there were not even radio. I remember towards about 11, 12 years of age, first Richard Murphy and Philips radio came into being. And I remember how that Vivid Bharati started. But soon enough, we were so engrossed in our sports and activities that, have you realized today also, come whatever may, if you start playing cricket, the whole mahalla will get together to go come and play cricket, including the grandmas and the fathers will also come and join us, isn't it? So the basic terms and conditions have to be fulfilled. Now here, Vivekananda is saying that there are many who come to an understanding, but few realize. Why is it? So I will introduce here right at the beginning. Please sit straight. What is to be done is we will just practice this for a short while. A very special Vedantic breathing technique, which is I've been guided in the Guru Purnima time to share it and give it everyone, in which that impurities in the mind. Have you noticed some people are always moving like that, or in the hand, or the legs are doing like this, can't sit still, can't stand still. This is because, all this is because of impurity. You know, as you sit down to meditate, there was one of the young mother was telling me, sir, I'm trying to meditate, but the moment I sit down, so many thoughts come to my mind that eventually I get fed up and get up and go. But notice, when you're watching the TV, you don't get up and go. Why is it? Understand, become aware. Because TV is continuously changing, giving you one to the other. Director is also telling you when to smile, when to cry, when to be tense because fighting session is on. So you have varieties. In the meditation, what are you doing? You're following a certain process towards stillness, oneness, that oneness. And the beauty part is, we have forgotten this oneness. You all must be noticing it from the times of India, and some of you who are the parents, that our children are today becoming world toppers. How? Just think of it. You and I, when we were in the school, college days, our teacher did not come to us and say, hey, champion, you are intelligent. I like the way you're concentrating. Will you work with me? I will make you a state champion. Did any teacher come and tell you or me? They did not even have the horizon, the vision to say, India champion. I'll make you India topper. Forget about world topper. Our teachers, our principal, Shalabam, with her team, are creating these world toppers. We are giving them very simple. I asked the same kid when we are doing counseling and talking, and we say, tell me, how much are you going to score? So they generally talk about 95%, 96%. They talk about, like in 10th standard MRP 5, it is 56 is the number. Perfect, 100% is 56 out of 56. And in the diploma 12th grade, the worldwide examination, both of them, 5,200 schools in the world participated at one time. More than 6 lakh students at one examination appeared. And amongst that, from Pune, one little school is producing world topper. It's the divine grace, number one. And divine grace blessings through our principal, vice president, and the core team members to with the parents and the mothers and the fathers, totally dedicated, and the student are creating. When I ask them, why are you not saying 100% in the initial part of the talk? Nowadays, they're all, those who senior enough, they're all very well aware and they think like that. And that's how they're producing the result. They said, sir, world topper, not possible. Such a small school, and where is Switzerland and America and England and France and Tokyo and Beijing? Big campus, big staff, and big infrastructure. I approach it differently, and so do the principal and the team. I asked them, supposing I'm talking to the girl, and I said, tell me, are you a girl? They said, yes, sir. I said, how do you know that? Come on, sir, I know it. I said, how? So I know it, my genetics and the way I've grown up, body parts. I said, okay, very nice. No doubt? He said, no doubt. I asked the next girl. She said, sir, I'm a girl. I have no doubt. I asked the boy. So you're a boy, isn't it? Yes, sir. I said, how do you know that? Sir, I know it. I said, how are you so sure? Come on, sir, I know it. I said, all right. I go back to the first girl. I said, tell me, why are you not saying 56? They said, sir, we are going to work very hard. But sir, it's not possible. I said, okay, tell me, to the same first girl, do you have to work very hard to be a girl? They said, no. I said, why? Sir, because I'm a girl. I asked the same thing to the next girl, to the next boy. They said, sir, we are. I said, you champions, you all are not monkey. You all are not donkeys. You know that you are a human child, right? You don't have to work hard to be a human child. They said, no, sir. I said, you have forgotten that you are 56. Just be that. Shama, Dhamma, same, controlling, calmness of mind. I'm a girl, I'm a boy, I'm a human child. I am 56. And work with that. And I give them a little target. Make out a chart, write big 56 and put it all over your house. In your worship corner, in your study corner, in front of your bed post, foot post, at the head post. As you go out of the house, inside of the door, as you come back to your house, outside of the door, if your friends ask you, what is this? Don't tell them. Only your mom, dad, or somebody sincere, close friend can know. Including in front of the toilet seat, put 56. All you think as 56, like Arjuna looking at not the fish, not the ring, not the wheel, but the center of the eye. You do that and look at the result. 73 children appeared, everybody first division. 21 out of them got 92.4 and above, and the top 10 got 98% and above, with the top as 100%. And in the beauty is, the next 3 kids who didn't get perfect 100%, but they missed it by 1 number. And the 6 next kid, that is 3 plus 6, the other 6, just out of the 10, they missed it by 2 numbers. The world topper, can you imagine? I can't imagine. And I tell my kids, I am jealous. A few guys, they say, why, sir? I said, I wish I had your education. I will be a world topper today. They said, sir, you are. I said, no, champion, I am nothing compared to you all. So my message to you as the devotee today is, with an example of the school, you are Tattvam Asi. You are that perfect 100%. Now let's understand what Vivekananda is saying. Many can understand Vedanta. They can give you definition, examples of what is Brahman, what is Jiva, what is Atman, what is spirit. But very few realize it. Realization is manifestation of the divinity, is realization. It is like eating that ice cream, eating that mango. What do you have to do? Practice, practice, practice. sadhana, yoga. Whatever time, 15 minutes a day, good enough. You know what? God will make you fall in love with it. Just start. Take the first step for the 100 meters dash. Seeing the others racing behind you, you will quicken it. And God himself will bless you and will put you at the lap and wave together. So let's do this little practice. Sit straight. In sitting straight, make sure back is straight, but not like a rigid, fixed bark of or like a trunk of a tree, not a stone pillar. Straight, but relaxed. Right over left leg, right over left palm. Dhyana mudra, Jnana mudra. Index to the thumb, pinching. They've got a special mudra. It helps you to focus. Concentrate at the tip of the nose. Now, which is the tip? This is the tip of the nose or this one? If you try to put it here, Srishi Yukteswar Giri is telling Paramahansa Yogananda, don't try to put it there. As it is very difficult to focus your mind. Why do you want to become cockeyed while trying to do that? Beautiful. Read that autobiography, Yogi. And Paramahansa Yogananda is practicing very hard, meditating. And Srishi Yukteswar Giri in Sri Rampur is sweeping the floor. He calls out, Mukunda, come here. And Paramahansa Yogananda, then Mukunda, he says, what is this? Why is he calling me? Can't he see that I'm practicing? He again calls, Mukunda, come here. Third time, Paramahansa Yogananda, Mukunda then did not get up. Third time, he says, your mind is like a storm. You think you're meditating? Come here. And he obediently gets up and goes and helps them in sweeping and cleaning. After they come back, same day, Srishi Yukteswar Giri gave to our beloved Gurudev that samadhi, touched him in the heart, and suddenly the whole world went around. Same thing happened with Paramahansa Ramakrishna when Vivekananda came and said, have you seen God? He said, yes. You can see it too. I see God better than I see you. You and I will also see. This is the promise of the Vedanta. So in this, now, practicing, very simple, breathing in and breathing out. First, 15 counts. Count it, like when you put your right over left. So the first, this is one count. Second is thumb pressing onto the index is second. Index pressing onto the thumb is first. Thumb pressing into the index is second. And then third, fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. First 15 counts, just feel the coolness. What are you doing? Practicing awareness of the nostril. Only, not following the breath. Every other breathing technique talks to you about alom, vilom, and pranayam and following the breath. Now, in the Kriya, whatever practices you do, go ahead and do that exactly as per our instructions. Follow that. Don't change that. I'm talking about here in the initial part of it, when you're going into the meditative state. Follow that coolness at the tip of the nose. And as you're breathing out, be aware of the warmth of the nostril. Second part, as you breathe in all those beautiful things that you would love to have. Calmness of mind, shama, dhamma, viveka, vairaga, uparati, samadhana, titiksha, shraddha, mumukshattam, mumukshattam, mumukshattam. Breathing it in, focusing. You may add these shata sampatti, breathe in along with viveka, vairaga, and intense desire, mumukshattam, mumukshattam. You're breathing it in. It is coming in. Let's like you deposit to the bank. Unless you deposit, you cannot do withdrawal. Can you do withdrawal if you don't put money in the bank? So now you're doing deposit. And now when you breathe out, when you're breathing out, you're throwing out those beautiful throwing out of the system of impurities of the mind. What is that? First, Alasya, laziness. How is it first? I want to get up at 3:30 in the morning, Brahma Muhurta. You have made, your consciousness telling, come on, mind, wake up. Mind is wanting to wake up. Body is saying, you never told me. You made your resolve, New Year resolve or whatever resolve. You talked to your guru and teacher and amongst you decided, you haven't asked me. I'm the body. I'm going to sleep. And who wins? It's generally the body. So throw away that lethargy, number one. Number two is mithya, lies. Satyameva jayate, truth alone shall win. Paramahansa Yogananda, Paramahansa Ramakrishna say it again and again and again. God is truth, truth is God. So throw away the mithya. Even in a joke, no telling lies. And then throw away those impurities of the mind. What am I doing? I'm breathing out alasya, that lethargy. I'm breathing out mithya. I'm breathing out the impurities of the mind, and then breathe out duality, which stops you from becoming one with everybody. Oneness has to be established within me firmly. When I look at a person, I see God in them. Whether my wife, my husband, my parent, my children, my colleague, my servant, or that dog or the animal, I see divine creation. So oneness, to be oneness, you're not throwing out the duality. And then finding fault with people. The moment I find fault with others, I am saying the other is different than me. And then restlessness. Simple. First, breathing out, alasya. Second, mithya, impurities of the mind. You're breathing out all of them. Duality. And then recollect, finding fault with people, and restlessness. Breathe it out and again breathe in. Now practice this for 15 counts, same counting. So 15 plus 15, 30, approximately 7.5 to 8 minutes it will take. And next 7.5 to 8 minutes, sit still, not moving. Knee will try to say, for the beginners, many of you I know can sit for hours together. But listen, I often hear from you, senior meditators, that I had a beautiful meditative, I went into blank state. I don't know what was happening. Please understand, in the words of Vivekananda, do not let the blankness persist, because very soon it will be replaced by the mind with something else. Instead of the blankness, hold on to the Vedantic. When you are still in the Vedantic meditation, see that consciousness, that light all around, with the rowing like the sun, the light all around you. Like you see great master's picture, all light, and see the light here. A thought comes in. What's making for breakfast? You say, shut up, not thinking of breakfast. I'm breathing in all the good qualities. Forget about the what's for breakfast. I'm breathing out all those garbage. And then when the vritti is that bubble in the lake of the mind, called the what's for breakfast, thought comes in like a bubble. Or I must have coffee today, coffee vritti. As it comes up, put the light of the awareness of the consciousness onto that, of the Brahman, which is you. Aham Brahmasmi. Put that light onto that bubble. And now what are you concentrating on? Is only on the bubble, nothing else. That only on the bubble being lit up by the light, not concentrating on the coffee or what's for breakfast or what's cooking, only looking at the light. And you know what? As you practice, you will see automatically, just like you rinse your clothes, you put it to the dry cleaner, or you put it in the washing machine, or you wash it with your hand, you will come across that those qualities will become yours strongly. And as you practice more and more Abhyasa Yoga, they'll become you, your second nature, or your first nature, or you absolutely of the nature. Have you realized today, you are that light? That light, the sunlight, falls on a dirty, filthy something on the road, but the light does not become impure. It falls onto a dirty person, a quarrelsome person, a divine person, a saintly person. Light is not affected. Now, the light falls on a pitcher of wine or whiskey or beer. Light is not getting intoxicated. The light falls on the holy river Ganga. The light is not becoming holy. Light is asanga aham, asanga aham, asanga aham, totally detached. Asanga, I am detached. What is the detachment? The strongest attachment. Many of your mothers are attending. Strongest attachment is the mother's love for the young baby. And mother's one hand is always on the baby, either holding, even going off to sleep at night, patting the baby and going off to sleep. And baby's gone off to sleep. Mother is peaceful. And soon, mother too will go off to deep sleep. Exhausted, tired. I know many of your mothers will say, you don't know anything. You're not a mother. Mothers never sleep. Remember, you do go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, dear mother, your hand falls off that baby. You forget about that dearest position of you who you created yourself, mother. And that is called asanga aham. I'm totally detached. And that I is not this body, name and form. It is that aham brahmasmi. I am Atman Brahman. Anubhava Vakya. Mahavakyas, 4 of them. Prajnana Brahman, the knowingness is Brahman. Being aware, consciousness is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. This is Anusandhana Vakya. You're searching for it. Searching. Anusandhana, you're searching within me. Tat Tvam Asi. Upadesha Vakya. The father is telling the son 9 times in Mandakya Upanishad, you are the one. And then Anubhava Vakya, I am Atman Brahman. These are the 4 Mahavakyas. Here, you are that. So it is just like, understand in the IB, in our Victorious Kid, we're teaching, you are a girl. You don't have to work hard to be a girl. You are a boy. You don't have to work hard to be a boy. You are a human. You and I are perfect Brahman. We have forgotten about it, and that's called the Maya. That is the impurity which is coming to our body. And sensual pleasures, 5 senses, with the Maya is taking us 5 senses out. And 5 senses falling onto that rose and the mountain and the dog and the dolphin and bringing it into my mind through the brain. The rose, I see Valentine rose, and that rose, light reflects on the rose. Rose is not entering the eye. Light reflecting onto the rose, coming through the cornea, through the optical nerve, going into the brain neurons, 2 brain neurons making a connection, making a synapses, sending how even today the world's top philosophers and psychoanalysts and psychologists can't make out how that brain makes the mind get the first person feeling. Wow, Valentine's Day. Google car and my car. We both are driving, California, red light, green light changes, both start to move. No driver in the Google car. They have no feeling. They may be driving better than me, but I have a beautiful feeling in my convertible, cool air from the Californian beach, and I'm enjoying the drive. Cool water in the airport. Put your hand in front of the electronic tap. Cool water, drinking it. You say, I was really thirsty. But the water tap doesn't get that feeling. So this first person feeling, nobody knows how. And from the mind cannot do it unless it is lit up by the reflective consciousness, which is like the moon getting the light from the sun, which is the consciousness all around us. That's the light you're seeing onto the reflective consciousness. And that reflective consciousness is also called subconscious mind by many, which is guiding factor. But you are looking at that light. In your being still, watch that light. And soon enough, you will see within 5-6 practices, your mind will become calmer and calmer. Remember, when you go into the blank state, do not, the moment you become aware of the blankness. If you're not aware, it's okay. But if you're aware, I'm enjoying my blankness, get back to the light, is the advice of the great masters. We have a lot to cover. We've finished today. Should you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Jai Guru. Any doubts, any questions?
Sir, is bhakti to be developed or will it be automatically developed?
Tell me again, please. What was that question?
Is bhakti to be developed or does bhakti get automatically developed?
Yeah, it is a very good question. Let me give it to you in a very simple story form, and then I'll answer that directly. There was this tantric who was in a forest sitting on a dead body and had been doing practices for years for Tantra sadhana to witness the Divine Mother. And he was practicing, and there was another man who was traveling to the forest. He happened to come, and this story is from Kathamrit Paramahansa Ramakrishna's story. And this traveling man happened to be coming, and thick forest, he saw some fire, and there's a man who was sitting down. He didn't want to disturb, he just stood there, and suddenly he found a tiger came and leaped onto that man who was doing the sadhana and killed him, went and ate him up, dragged him somewhere away. This man was so frightened, scared, he climbed up the tree, waited for about 2 hours, and then when he saw no tiger, he came down. As he was leaving that side, something happened to him. He felt like sitting on that dead body and doing the same sadhana, what that earlier tiger-eaten up man was sitting and doing. Something happened to him. He sat down, and within minutes, Divine Mother came and said, "Tell me, what do you want?" This man was awestruck, shocked, and surprised. He says, "Mother, please explain to me. That man must be practicing for years. And I just sat, I don't know anything. And you have come and visited me, and you allowed that tiger to eat up that man? Wow. Why and how?" Mother smiled and said, "You do not know your past birth." This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. You have forgotten all your previous birth. I remember them all. Same thing. Mother says, you do not remember. You were about to attain when you left your body last time. That is how you attain it. This other man needs some time. He has to pass through that. So the answer to your question, was that Rajiv who asked the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The answer to your question that it is both together, but with the divine grace, it can happen instantaneously. When would it happen? We do not know. It is a possibility, but you and I cannot sit idle. We have to keep on practicing and pray. Just like Let's say Paramahansa Ramakrishna was rolling on the ground, and a person like Ramakrishna from tiny youth, child age onwards, he's been witnessing and going into samadhi. He's saying, Mother, you still not show yourself. One more day, evening, Dakshineshwar Mandir, the ghantas are going on, the puja, arti has started, and he's crying, Mother, one more day is gone, I have not seen you. Why? Are you Chinmayi or Mrinmayi? Are you made of consciousness or are you made out of mitti? And then eventually he did see, when he went into the mandir, he did the sadhana, he said, if you do not show yourself to me, he takes the kharag, that sword from mother's hand, and he's going to chop off his neck, his own neck. Then mother caught his hand and showed herself, and he not only witnessed, he fainted also, and thereafter. So when and how is something which we do not know. But I have a very simple answer for this, which is my realization, is intense desire to see you, experience you, and become one with you. I know I'm going to do it in this life alone. I pray, I practice, and I will not give up till the time I actually make it into reality. Mumukshattam, mumukshattam, mumukshattam. Let the world throw anything at me, but I will not let it deter my desha kala vastu, my place for meditation, my time for meditation, and the concentration. So with that, Rajiv, if we practice continuously, it is the promise of the Vedanta. Veda says that you will, the fact that you've got into the Vedanta, you will attain. And do not be disheartened. And anytime you are, very simple. A story I've shared with you sometimes, father, the son, the mother, and the daughter gone for a Sunday picnic to a nearby jungle. Driven down, mother and the daughter put next to the river. They were putting together things and going to start cooking. The father and the son said, let's go and bring some wood, dry wood. And they go down. On the way, as they're going inside, they found a big boulder blocking the road, and the car can't go any further. And they hadn't found the wood till then. The father told the son, come son, go down and push it out. Son goes and pushes it. He can't do it. Shortening the story, son comes and says, Father, I can't do it. Father says, son, you can do it. Try with all your might. He goes and tries all his might, and he was actually looking back at father and saying, I can't do it. Father calls him, says, Father, say, have you tried with everything that you have? He said, yes, Father, can't you see? He said, you are not doing it with everything that you have. Son is going to get angry now. He said, come on, Father, I have tried. He said, did you ask me? I'm available. So what should you do? What you did just now? Seek help, ask questions, clarify, and many others will get benefit in addition to you too. Yes, sir? Any
Yes,
other
sir.
doubts?
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Mother has bhakti for the child. Family relatives have bhakti. Pizza Hut we go, we have bhakti for the pizza. When it comes to God, how does that bhakti come from an entity which we have not seen, not heard, not felt, not touched? The vanilla ice cream which you give, it is easy to feel vanilla because we have tasted it. That feeling is there.
You know
When
what
it comes,
the voice is fading out in between. It's could you speak a little closer to the mic and kindly repeat? Bhakti. Tell
yeah.
me again, please.
Are you able to hear me nicely now?
Yeah, it is clearer. Strength 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah. family relatives have bhakti. It is easier to develop bhakti when it comes to family, relations, friends. Pizza Hut we go, bhakti for pizza kind of. Uh, when it comes to God, the vanilla ice cream thing example which you gave, if vanilla ice cream, someone will be able to recollect and relate to it very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to God, what has to be done? But because God we have not seen, we have not heard, we have not talked to, we have not felt, we have not tasted. So how will it happen?
Okay, very good question. So let me get back to the slide. I wish to refer something over here. And this is the one. So let me share with you this slide. You see, the problem with bhakti leads to emotionalism and sentimentalism. Now, I will come back to direct answer to that question. The Vivekananda is saying the harmony of the all four yogas. It is leading into your answer to your question. All four yogas are to be utilized in unison together. So, which is called the Yoga Vignya. Now, this is actually answer by Vivekananda was given to a monk. Another Ramakrishna Mission monk was giving him this warning that, look, if you follow only bhakti, you will tend to become emotionalized, sentimentalized, and you may not attain, you may get diverted and you may get stagnated. Along with that, he says karma yoga. In the karma yoga, what are the problems? There are problems, okay? He said you tend to become extrovert, you start a school or a hospital and things like that. You become a karma yogi, you're doing a great work, but you are on action, and mind is all the time getting and tend to get into the ego that I am the one who is doing it. And no longer that selflessness prevails and selfishness and restlessness comes in. Then is the Raja Yoga, which is the meditation in which, you know, I tend to become selfish. This is what Vivekananda also, can you imagine? Even Vivekananda, he told when he first time attained Samadhi and Paramahansa Ramakrishna asked him, all these are leading to your answer. Said, so what are your plans now? Vivekananda says, I wish to stay in Samadhi. Once in a while, I will come into this world. I will eat enough so that the body stays and I'll get back to Samadhi. The Paramahansa Ramakrishna scolded him. He said, you are being very selfish. And this is what happens is that meditation tends to lead selfishness. And that is for my peace of mind. And I'm continue. I don't want to be disturbed with the world and things like that. And the next comes in the Jnana Yoga. In the Jnana Yoga, degeneration. And it very fast leads into intellectualism and reading and thinking. All the answers are in the book. But it is not understanding very close. It is realization. It is not knowing. It is manifestation. Now, goes on to Swami Vivekananda says, practice them each so that they balance together, they energize together, equip us together, and counteract each other. So the answer to your question, Rajiv, a very good question, a big question. Bring a balance with all four. So when I know, let's say in bhakti, we say theistic religion, it is the temple, it is the church, it is the mosque, and God is up there. When you die, you will meet God. When? After you die. In that case, God is up there. It is a place. Or after you die, it is in time. Whereas over here, you are aware through the Jnana Yoga. I know it, that it is me. What is obscuring me is my ignorance. I have to take away the ignorance with the help of the Raja Yoga, which we practiced just now a tiny bit. This is a very powerful breathing. I find it to be extremely helpful. It changes your perspectives totally. And along with work, whatever I'm doing, use the Bhakti Yogas. Whatever I do, I put G over there. G for God. There is, jokingly, one of the monk in Himalayas says, don't put D for dog. D for dog is faithfulness and becoming like, doggish like and just thinking about chanting name, but not really understanding and following it. So put G for God in everything. I am not the doer. It is whatever the action. I'm not eating. I'm not wearing clothes. I'm not praying. It is the God himself is doing it through me to go to God. So that Aham Brahmasmi and the Brahma and I are no different. We're same water. So one of the meditation technique at the end of it, you may like to practice it. Imagine you're sitting in a deep blue ocean in the heart, in the center of the ocean with no breathing problem, but you're inside the water. And imagine I and the water are one. Existence, consciousness, bliss. I am not existing. Computer is not existing. My wife, my mother, my husband is not existing. But the existence is me. Existence is my mother, my wife, my husband. And existence is that entire ocean in which the consciousness with which I realize I am the existence persisting. Nothing else, no body, no shape, no form. So with this, I see today, I realize that you will continue to do what you've read that book called Conversation with God. Conversation with the consciousness, with the Brahman within, Brahman in everyone. You will find very soon somebody very close to you. You think of it and she and he will know it. And she and he thinks of it, you will know it. Your consciousness is merging to be one, attending toward the Brahman. And this is called practice. Yes, it is not a piece of cake, but this is why sadhana chatushti established it together. So what do we have to do? I get a beautiful answer. Nike, what does it say? Do it. No shortcut. And believe it will happen because it is spoken so. It is said so. Shraddha, teacher, professor said so. If I finish this, I will know better. I will. I have no doubt. We all are going to do it. Those of us give up, they may lose the path. Those who don't, they will attain. Otherwise, we will not join together. Divine Mother, God, Babaji, Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, or Gurudevas will not come all together to us. We are the Blessed One. I think that should be a pretty good answer, Rajiv. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Any other doubts?
So, what to ask for in the prayers?
Yeah. Yeah. Who is this?
This is Aditi.
Yeah. Tell, what is it?
So, what to ask for in the prayers to
Sorry.
God?
What to ask for in the prayers?
Hmm?
What to ask for in the prayers?
What to ask for in the prayer? Is that what you ask?
Yes.
Okay. Very simple question, and yet it's a very beautiful question. Ask for protection and welfare for everyone. When you ask for welfare and protection for everyone, everyone in the universe includes me too. Ask for abundance of love, of purity, of truth, of oneness with everyone. And that everyone includes the Brahman, the consciousness, and me and my people. Ask for, bless me so that I see you, Divine Mother, God, Babaji, our Gurudevas, in everyone. Ask for, may I be able to have my eyes open, that so that when I see someone, I see you, that oneness in that person. This is the oneness. Ask for, may I be blessed so that I have love, remove all impurities from me. Ask for, bless me so that I do not seek fault in other people. Bless me that my restlessness goes away. Bless me that when I focus my eye, I want to see you. I want to see you in my third eye. I want to see you with my eyes open. I want to see you with my eyes closed. I want to see you in my dream, in my vision. And as you start asking, you will see there are lots of other beautiful things will come, but in which you're asking for protection, healing for everyone. Ask for abundance of what? Material wealth. So much that I can give it away to everybody, those who need. Ask for perfection in health for everyone, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, for everyone. And that includes automatically you and me too. A very powerful question. And as you delve into it, you will find more and more revealing about the same thing. Ask for purification of that person who hates you. Ask for that neighbor or that enemy who is cursing you and disturbing you, for bringing peace. Ask for that corrupted guy who's spoiling your work or spoiling your business or trying to cheat you, for divine consciousness may dawn upon him or her and make him and her awaken. Ask in case his karma is not allowing it to happen. Divine Mother, God, Babaji, my beloved Gurudev, please take him far away from me. Make him be peaceful and happy, but not allow him to disturb my journey to become one with you. I think that's plenty of asking, isn't it? Jai Guru. Is that okay with you? Are you peaceful?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other doubts? Akasha Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Agniyaya Shanti, Vayu Shanti, Jalaspataya Shanti, Gau Shanti, Uttaradesha Shanti, Dakshinaya Shanti, Purvadesha Shanti, Paschimaya Shanti, Chittaha Shanti, Manaha Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Oh, Divine Mother, hold our hand. God and the Gurus of all religion, take us from unreal to real. Take us from darkness of ignorance to light of wisdom and knowingness. Take us from Mother, God, Brahman, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace.